Berlutti, My Passport and Secret Blend, not necessarily in that order of the top four in the market. 280 Secret Blend, 390 My Passport, 480 Berlutti, $6 Taikkiato, who's come up very short on Super Tab at $3.20, and It's a Shame Billy is next best at $6.50. So that's looking ahead to the next, about 15 minutes away. Secret Blend at this stage is the favourite. Off to a break, back shortly here. Race 7 coming up soon on racing.com. Righto, Ben, thank you. The afternoon sun drifting behind the big grandstand here at Sandown, so the mounting yard is fully shaded here for race 7 on the program as runners filter into the yard. Here on track, it's Secret Blend, 260 to 280. My Passport's been 350 to 380. Berlutti, 420 to 480. It's a Shame Billy, 6 out to 650. And Taikkiato is also out to 650 on track. If you do like Taikkiato, fixed odds is the way to go. He's very, very tight on Super Tab in particular there at $3.20. So these runners enter the enclosure for race 7, and we'll start with Berlutti. He's one of the interesting runners of the race. Warren, his jump out looked really good recently at Caulfield. Mickey D has the ride here for Mick Price.
Yeah, he's an effective horse on the fresh side, and he's been placed on soft ground. He's a winner on heavy ground. And as you mentioned, from the jump out, the most recent jump out in particular, looks to be coming to hand really well.
Was on the poly, so I don't know whether that means anything.
That's just where they're scheduled. That's the way the roster goes, and if you wanted to jump him out that week, that's where the jump outs were.
You'd think on the basis of that, there'd be a race on a synthetic track somewhere for him for sure, but he resumes here on the soft 6 today. Berlutti, number 1. 2 is It's a Shame Billy. Well, can Yadita Clark win 2 metro races in the space of less than a week? $6 out to $6.50.
Solid enough performance last start. No real excuses behind Arujo at Pakenham on the synthetic track. The same form line that Taikkiato comes through later on, and there was a bit of merit in that performance. And sometimes he might be a better horse drawn out a bit. He's drawn to get out that little bit here, and I think that probably suits him better than where he was in transit last start.
3 scratch, 4 is Canali, Steve Brown, Steve Baster, $20.
horse that just rolls along somewhere near the speed. That's what he does. It's a while since we've seen the best of him, but you'd expect that as a rising 10-year-old, and you'd think he'd probably take advantage of that inside draw and roll along somewhere near the speed, but he's yet to place on 7 starts on soft ground.
Secret Blend is the race favourite, number 5, 260 to 290, with Nick Hall aboard for John Sadler.
The last 3 runs have been terrific. The win at Ballarat 3 starts back, overcoming difficulties, was very good. Then out to 1200 metres at his next start. Solid enough performance, but I think back to the 1000 metres was the key in a bunch finish. He was there fighting it out last start, and he strikes a similar scenario here today.
Magna Gem is scratched at number 6, so we go down to Taikkiato, which is number 7 for John Price and Craig Williams, who's still searching for his first winner today. $6 out to 7 on course.
She held her ground behind Arujo in that same race that It's a Shame Billy comes through. She should be fitter with that run under the belt. She generally performs well second up. That was a run on synthetic track last start, as we've already mentioned, but she does seem to like soft ground. So with that run under her belt and the fact that she generally performs well second up and handles soft ground, she's certainly got a few credentials to give her a good chance here.
Kalashani Lad resumes, $17 out to 21 for Terry Walsh and Darren Gauchi. He's been to the trials a couple of times lately.
Yeah, and he was there at the end of March at Stony Creek and didn't really, well, I suppose it was a good performance really, but he made some ground from well back in the field. And yeah, you would think maybe in this class of race he's probably going to find a few of them a little bit too strong. The best we've seen of Kalashani Lad in his career to date would have him being competitive here. It's just a little while since we've seen that. You'd probably prefer to see him come back and put that on the board today.
The lightly raced My Passport is number 9, $3.50 out to $3.80. Still $7 on Super Tab. Dwayne Dunn aboard for Team Hawks.
Lightly raced, as you mentioned, from Team Hawks, and a couple of recent jump outs say that My Passport's ready to go back to the races without really being pushed out, which is quite typical of the Team Hawks horses. They don't get paid to win jump outs. They get them ready to get back to the races. It looks to be progressing well.
Cresta Condor, number 10, $15 chance. Jess Payne aboard for Pat Carey.
Good run at Echuca last start, just not quite a match for Pretty Possum. She's been holding her form reasonably well. I think against the boys in this grade of race, she may well need the benefit of the claim, and consequently Pat Carey has gone with Jess Payne here to get the 3 kilos off. That probably gives her a chance to sneak along somewhere near the speed and be at least a chance for trifectas and first fours.
And A Ton of Courage. Well, he loves soft ground. He's not really a factor in the marketplace here today. 51 out to 61 for Libby Hayworth and Brad Clark.
I think the softer the better for A Ton of Courage. Those 2 recent wins have come on really heavy ground, the heavy 10 and a real slogfest in easier grade than this. And I think on the soft ground, he's probably going to find a few of these a bit sharp.
Okay, Warren, your tips for this race 7, please.
Going with Secret Blend, thought his last run over 1,000 metres was solid. He probably has got no improvement in him at this stage of his preparation, but he's racing well. 5 ahead of 1 Berlutti, who's trialled up well to resume here. 7 Taikkiato, fitter for 1 run under her belt this preparation. And 9 My Passport, a promising galloper in the Hawks camp resuming. It's been jumping out well. 5-1-7-9.
Mick Price has been good enough to join us. He's got one of the key runners here in Berlutti. He looked pretty good on the poly track in a jump out recently, Mick.
Yeah, that's him. They do tend to give you a bit of a false guide to poly trials. Look, he's going well, and this ground is good for him. 1,000 metres is good for him at this stage of his prep. So he's in for a good prep. You've got to find the right races for him all the time. But just need to probably see him last furlong the best rather than put him outside the speed and see him weaken. He's a little bit soft, but certainly not saying he can't win. He's going well.
All right, what about the weight? Even with the 1.5 kilo claim, it's a reasonably significant weight he's got to carry.
I agree, and I did say to Michael, try and look after him in the run because you need to make sure your last furlong's the best. Don't really want to see him getting run down, having done too much work early. So I'm sure he'll ride him well. He's riding well, the kid.
So just off the speed and be looking to peel out, run on the last 300 or 400?
Would be beautiful if that's what we can get, yeah.
All right, you've had 3 runners earlier in the day. The 2 in the same race earlier, both looking for a bit further by the looks of it. A Mystical Star who debuted.
A Mystical Star was all right. He's a nice horse who'll get 2,000 metres. Probably wants the blinkers on. He had a bit of a look around today and got tired the last bit. Yulong Baby's going to have a good prep. Mademoiselle, probably she need to cross fingers that we can get her up and going. She's probably destined for a stallion in September, but we'll do our best with her in the next few runs and make a decision.
All right, thanks, Mick. Good luck with Berlutti.
Thanks, Adam.
Here's the latest market update. Runners are getting up to the gates here. My Passport is resuming here, trained by Team Hawks. Wayne looked pretty good actually in a jump out recently at Flemington. He jumped well, travelled on the speed, where a lot of your horses don't really go like that at the jump outs.
Yeah, he gets quite keen, this horse. He's probably had the one blemish. He's come to Sandown and bombed the start and ran last. So hopefully he can come back today and do a better job.
Well, if he jumps fast like he did in the jump out, you'd expect him to be prominent most of the way?
Yeah, he'll jump and go forward, just a matter of how keen he wants to go. So he certainly likes to get up and get rolling. So Dwayne will have to try and shut him down the first 50, 100 yards. So we'll see how he goes.
Tuned up for a first up win here, hopefully?
Oh, well, we don't have him jammed up first up, but he's fit enough to win if that's what you're asking, yes.
Well, that was what I was getting at in a roundabout sort of way. What'd you make of Blue Money earlier in the day? Dwayne nursed her for as long as he could. Then at the 200 he released the brakes and there was just nothing there, was there?
He come back and said, "What'd you let go of his head for?" It was going better when he had hold of his head, as most of them do. But yeah, she just never found a lot that last 200. But that's pretty much how her pattern's been every race start she's had. So she still ran good though. She still ran a second in town. There's no blue with that. But would have been nice to get away with it. There's not many that you have hold of the head of the 200 and get beat, is there?
No, that's right. And many trainers, as they often say, the maiden is the hardest one to win.
Yes, yeah, no, she's run well at every run of her starts. But so it's funny when some of these horses just put one away. It's amazing how they can put a string of them together. So we'll either tip her out or maybe give her one more run. So she'll be a much better horse come next prep.
All right, good luck with My Passport here.
Thank you.
Wayne Hawks from Team Hawks there. Now, here on track, Warren, Secret Blend, still the favourite?
Holding on to favouritism, Adam, $2.60 out to $3. Certainly at a backable price if you were keen on Secret Blend. Has drifted out from that shorter quote, probably a bit tight at the $2.60. Now out to $3. The market at 123%. My Passport, the horse you were just talking about, to Wayne Hawks about, it's been that little bit easy. First up, $3.50 out to $4.20. Taikiado has been right in the market, but a little bit easy, $6 out to $7. And the horse from the Mick Price stable, just talking to Mick a few minutes ago, has been $4.20 out to $5. It's a shame Billy's been $6 out to $7. So really the market just feeling its way a little bit. Most horses that little bit easy, no significant support on track. But Secret Blend holding on to favouritism, but currently at $3.
It's a rather subdued market in comparison to the last couple of races, isn't it, Warren, where we've had long range moves for a couple of them. One came off and the other one didn't with space in the previous. So this market is much more orthodox in its progression. $2.60 to $3 Secret Blend, and there's also $3 on the tote. Well, 1,000 metres they'll be dashing down to the home turn. It wouldn't really be that much of a shock if they just fan across right from the start here, Warren, because they're using the middle part of the track essentially today.
Yeah, short course horses, most of these horses with a degree of technical speed, and although it was a bigger field, the race that Secret Blend was in here last start was a similar thing with the horses fanning right across the track. Wouldn't be surprised to see that again. Secret Blend just late into $2.90, back in from the $3.
All right, 5 is the favourite as they load away. Race 7, here's Terry Bailey.
Feels the gate, Secret Blend moving in the favourite. So making a good fist of it here. $6.70 Berlutti. It's a shame Billy at $8.50. Secret Blend $3. Taikiado $5.60. My Passport $4.90. Favourite on track, Secret Blend into $2.80. I thought My Passport had a really good chance here. I think he's a pretty promising horse for this grade of race. Taikiado moves in. Had no luck last start. And we're nearly set. My Passport, who's only run here, ended in disaster when it was very tardy out of the gate. He's jumped out and trialled up well for this. Now My Passport about to move in and fill the alley. Secret Blend is rock solid fit, now into 240 on the tote. It's just tumbled down dramatically in the last few seconds. Already racing. My Passport got an absolute flyer out of the gate today, wide out. Berlutti jumped away quickly with Taikiado and Canali near the fence going forward. Behind those, Cresta Condor, a ton of courage. It's a shame Billy wide out. Secret Blend in between that pair at the tail of the field is Kalashani Lad. My Passport going quickly out in the centre of the track, leads the way from Berlutti, Canali the fence. Close at hand, Cresta Condor. It's a shame Billy wide out. Then a ton of courage. Secret Blend one from the rail. Kalashani Lad last of all. In the running, My Passport out very deep. Just in front of Berlutti, Taikeato, back to the fence, Canali, A Ton of Courage, one from the rail. Then came Cresta Condor, and It's a Shame Billy running on. No Secret Blend at the moment. The front runner is now Berlutti, bursting to the front. It's a Shame Billy is in pursuit, wide out on the track, and then Kalashani Lad in front is Berlutti in the shadows, starting to run on strongly on the outside. It's a Shame Billy. Berlutti sitting down, he's hanging on. Berlutti in front, he'll win it by about a half length. It's a Shame Billy second. A Ton of Courage might be third from Kalashani Lad. Secret Blend, just in behind those is Cresta Condor with Taikeato. They were followed by Canali and My Passport last in.
So Berlutti fresh up and off a good jump out's been able to win here first up, and he's a good fresh horse. He got out to 760 and 210 on the tote, 420 out to 550 on track, so generally a little bit easy. It's a Shame Billy in second spot at $1.70, and third's pretty close. A Ton of Courage really gave a side at 50 to 1.